Welcome to Aspects of a Changing Man. This is Gold coming to you live. We had some technical difficulties where we couldn't bring you the show in the way that we wanted to bring you the show on Tuesday. Tried it 4 or 5 times, but wasn't able to work out in the way that we wanted to. So I decided that we were going to bring it to you on Wednesday, and we would keep the Tuesday and Saturday schedule, just to make sure that we stay where we want it to be. Now we're hoping that it doesn't happen again, so you don't have to wait on an episode, especially being off a day. But we wanted to bring you the best type of show. We wanted to bring you the most accurate of opinions when it comes to how we think that things will work out. I wanted to bring that to you. I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to make sure that, when we talk about these issues, it's not only my opinion, but it's other people's opinions as well. It's not just us saying, well, this could be right. It's other people saying that as well. Even though they might not display it, they still have an agreement on that could be the correct way. Because on my last show, on one of my other shows, I was talking about how groups of people managed to come together. And the way that they were able to come together was to start off the same. And I thought that was a great way of looking at it, and I talked to people about that. And in the conversation, it was an agreement. And if I don't have the agreement, even though I feel like I'm right, if I don't have the agreement from people that I talk to that may have had a different standing when it came to first conversating, then I don't really want to do it. Then I don't really want to display it. Because in here we're talking about changing. I mean, this is a show that's talking about change. Aspects of a Changing Man is, you looking at the way that I thought that I should change, and I'm giving it to you. But it's still going to go through the opinions of others. And the one thing you must understand is that even though I'm coming to you with these opinions or things that I felt like made me a better person, I may be wrong. Or it may not be the same type of, it may not fit someone else's feet to walk in. So in this is just somebody being able to look at it and say, okay, cool, that might be. And then somebody else may look at it and say, no, that's not the way. But it's just my opinion and others agreeing with my opinion. So when I look at the past shows that I've had, I've definitely been talking about not only myself, but, the other side, not only men, but women as well. And the reason that I've been able to, the thing that I was able to do is to get women to listen to it and to get their understanding, get their opinion on how they feel about the subject. And a lot of women liked it. A lot of women thought that it was something that was informing, because some of the times we do stuff and we don't even know what we're doing. Some of the times we have built ourselves in a way and we don't even know why we're able to do that. I feel like I've talked to people, and when we talked about like expertise, like how to make money off of something, some people just do it and they can't explain it. They just built themselves to do the job but not be able to explain the job. So when you go to somebody and you're looking for a trainer and that guy comes to you and he's like, well, I need you to explain how to do this job. And he's like, well, this is what I do. And instead of being understanding of this is what I do, this is how you learn, so you might be able to do this way, or you know what I'm saying, or you are a seer or a doer, being able to break that down and understand, like, okay, these are the differences, and being able to explain them, because that's when the money comes in. Being able to explain the job, that's when you make it higher. So if you're not able to explain why you're doing what you're doing, you're just able to do the job, it's going to be hard for you to excel in the money making field of that job. And I've talked to people about that and they agreed about that as well. I usually gave the aspect of a guy that's flipping burgers, and that's it. Like he never learns the paperwork behind it, where the burgers come from, where they're stored at, what's going on. He just basically knows I'm flipping I get them from this storage, I'm putting them on the grill, I do it great so that everybody else can eat them. They taste the best, and because of that, it is because of me taking my time and doing my thing in the way that you're supposed to. And I've had instances like that in my life. I worked at a factory. And I was like I was a forklift driver, and in me being a forklift driver, I was like, all right, I'm going to be the best forklift driver in here. That is my goal. That is what I'm doing. I'm going to be the best. And so when it came to me like doing my job, the one thing is that we started off with 2 people jobs. And the guy that was not only our trainer but our supervisor was like, I don't want you staying 2 people. I want you to be able to do it by yourself. So my goal was to be able to do it by myself, and to do it the best by myself, and to do it the fastest by myself, and get an understanding by myself of what I'm doing to do it faster. So I became that. I became a guy that was, when you looked at a job and you said you needed done, and the 2 job people were full, like, hey, we need 2 people to do this job, and you looked up and you needed somebody to do it, you could look at me and say, he does it not only as fast as 2 people, but he does it faster than 2 people. And that was my goal. And I got that goal done. Now, when it came to training someone, all I could give them was attitude. The attitude that they could have, not the paperwork. Because when it came to paperwork, as in getting the job done, receiving stuff, because I was basically a receiver. And that was my job, to receive the stuff, put the stuff where it belonged. And when I had to put the stuff on the truck, it was never the big trucks, it was the smaller trucks. It was everybody knows this truck, everybody knows how to do this truck. But then there was paperwork, there was shipping, and when they looked at somebody to do shipping, I always said, no, not for me. I always said, no, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to learn that. I want to be the best at this. I wanted to be the best at driving a forklift, getting the stuff off as fast as you could. So when you looked for somebody to get the stuff off and you needed it, an emergency, cool, it was me. I wanted to be the first name possible. So then when it came to shipping the stuff off, I didn't know I wanted to be the first at everything. So when it came to receiving, they were like, hey, go, we got you. We need you here. Then when it came to shipping, They're like, we don't know who to call. Let's see if we'll go to do it. And I'm like, I don't know how to do shipping. And they're like, well, it's time for you to learn. I'm like, nah, I don't want to learn that. Is there a truck to receive? They're like, yeah, there's a truck to receive, but that could be taken care of by 2 people. I was like, have 2 people do the shipping. I'll do the receiving. I was always away from that. And then it became to do the paperwork. And I was like, I don't want to get into the paperwork because I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to excel in taking your job. It was basically me being like, this is my area and this is all that I want to be. And so openings started to happen for a trainer, and they looked right past me. Needless to say, when it happened and they looked right past me, I knew how good I was. They knew how good I was. But you had to train everybody in everything. So when the new people came in, they would look for somebody to train them, and they would look right past me. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Why can't I train a person? And when you don't understand what's going on, or you're not a person that is, trying to grow in different aspects, you'll think that you'll start to make excuses. Let's put it like that. You'll start to make excuses of why you think that they are looking past you. And when those times were happening, I loved the way they were training me. They trained me hard. I was used to being trained hard. Guy told me, like, hey man, if you don't get on the speed in like a month, we're going to have to let you go. Hey, you got to get to work. Hey, you got to get on your truck. And I'm looking past that. And I was wondering why they were trying to treat me the way that they were they were treating me in the way they were treating me. And I would look at it, and I wish that I had the understanding of what I do now. But I didn't have that understanding back then. So I started to make excuses. I'm like, man, I'm the only black guy in here. Why are they treating me in that way? Man, I'm this and I'm that. Why are they, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, they can't be doing, they don't do it, treat anybody. And I didn't understand the mindset of, you know what I'm saying, like energy, potential, greatness, leadership. I didn't understand these things. I didn't understand how people look at you. I mean, I knew sports, and that's all I knew was sports. So when the coach gets on, I knew that in basketball, when a coach stays on you about doing some stuff, and he's not really looking at everybody else, usually is because he sees a very good potential in you, and he needs you to be perfect because he sees that you are somebody that is going to get it done. Now you got everybody else that probably messes up and he yells at, you know what I'm saying, or the guy that, that is like the mess up kid or whatever that, you know what I'm saying, can't get right. But I was right. I was getting right. I've always been a get right type of person. Like, I'm gonna go my hardest. I'm gonna do it, and once I set my mind on it, I'm gonna be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do something that will make you see that I'm amazing, and then later on you're gonna see that I'm grand. I wasn't like the best. I wasn't like NBA prospect basketball, but I was a person that I felt like if I was 6'8", I would be battling LeBron James for MVP every year. But if I was on track, because there was a lot of stuff that I did that wasn't on track, but I didn't look at it that way. So when it came to the job, I didn't look at it and say, like, everybody works hard because I'm working harder. I'm coming in and I'm talking, not trash, but I'm basically being competitive with everybody, which makes everybody else be competitive. And we were a small we were in a small company, but we were a small amount of people. So with a forklifting company, like usually there's about 80, usually there, 27, 30 people per shift, that we were hearing of. So when we heard that when we heard the numbers of like different companies that were around, we would hear that we were like number 3 fastest company. Now, we were the number 3 fastest company, but we only had 12 people per shift. And so when I sat there and I went to other companies, or I talked to people in other companies, I was like, how many people do you have per shift? And they were like, we have about 30. And I was like, y'all have 30 people per shift? And they're like, yeah. It was like, we have 12. And some of those people don't even show up sometimes. So we'll have about 10, 9, 8. But we'll get it done. We'll get everything done to keep the numbers up. I mean, it was equal trucks. As far as what was going on, we had equal trucks, equal timing. We were working fast. Our company was making as much as other companies because we were doing so good. And I was looking back and I was like, what is this? We only got that, but the type of mindset that they wanted us to have was one where we moved faster. Like I told you before, some 2 people per truck, they didn't want that. They wanted you 1 person per truck. They wanted everybody to be at 1 person per truck and moving as fast as 2 people per truck. And the thing is that, it was working us like a slave, but we were fine with that. We were fine with feeling like that. I mean, we'll talk our stuff like everybody else does, but we were fine with it. And sometimes we'll talk stuff to each other to, keep the mindset going. Who's the fastest? You're really faster than me. This is... So... when it came to actually, and I know I went a little bit off track, but if you bring it back, it'll all come into play. So with me feeling like my potential was high, I only felt that way because of what was in my mind at the moment. Now, getting a full understanding of why a person would treat me like that was not something that I looked at. When they would look at, and I'm not saying that this is a case, but this could have definitely been the case that they seen how influential I was, and they seen how I got people to, because I got them to come together. One time I invited everybody on the shift out to go drink and have a good time. We went out as a crew. We had fun. And then next thing you know, our meetings were never about the mistakes that we made. Like, we kept it together. People were working together better. No beef, no arguments. And if we did, it was just, oh man, I don't like him, I'll stay away from him. Well, we got to do our work, and if we got to do it together, we'll do it together. But I still don't like him. But it was more of an understanding of, this is our shift now. This is the people we rock with. This is what's going on. I ain't got to look at him in a funny way. I didn't know that he does this, he's like that. It was more of a together bringing, and I felt good about doing that, and I felt good about being able to say, like, I was a part of asking everybody to be a part of that. And so then we go back to work. They're still on my butt about getting things done. But I became a 1 truck person, and I did the most trucks some nights. If the other guys that were like the tops that were doing shipping, and I did the most receiving trucks in a night. I was counting them, and I was like, oh, he did, but the other people were doing shipping trucks. So then people started to come, people started to like expand themselves. And they started to ask for different roles. And they started to show that they were understanding the paperwork. Now, I understood what paperwork I was getting, but that's only a paperwork that I understood. So when it came to trucking and other stuff, I was like, nah, I don't want to get down with that. Not knowing that's what I needed to do. So when they looked past me, I was feeling some type of way. Oh man, they don't want no black guy moving up in the and this and that. I would never listen to the guys talk to me, talk about me, or listen to that on my time, because they would talk good about me. They would talk about, man, you're like, they love you in there. I was like, yeah, whatever, man, this and that, because they're walking past me and I'm not understanding, like, I'm not living up to my full potential. I'm not living up to that. I'm not growing with the company. I'm just maintaining my spot. So I got mad and I started to make excuses. Truly, I didn't have the people that would communicate like, hey, this is what I need from you. This is what I see in you. And you're doing great. They'd tell me, you're doing great. It took a long time for them to say, you're doing great. But I didn't know the potential of myself, so I didn't look at it that way. So when it came to the excuses grew. My resentment for the company grew, and I didn't understand it. When I left, and people were telling me, how good I was with the company, and then I started looking at myself and seeing like a lot of stuff that was going on inside of me, and I started to see how it was crossing over into the other things I was doing. I was really mad at myself, because what they were telling me was, you were like the guy and we were looking at you like the guy. We wouldn't tell you that you were the guy, but we wanted you to grow. We wanted you to be the guy to grow. We wanted you to be the trainer, because I'd secretly train people. I'd secretly train them with attitude on how to drive a truck, and they would pick it up real well. Like, there was this girl that was forklift driving there, and I told her, like, she's like, man, these people, they don't know. I said, man, you got to live like this is your road. This is your road. If you see here and you drive like this is your road, then people are going to move out of your way. But as long as you let them think that this is their road and you're just a part of it, they're going to run you over. They're going to make you stop. They're going to sit in your way. They're going to do whatever. And a week later, she was driving like a maniac, but it was a safe maniac, and it was a I'm getting it done maniac, and it was a I'm on my way to a one truck by myself maniac. She worked there with her cousin, and she was like, I don't even want to work with my cousin. I work by myself, and she got things done by herself. But that was, you know what I'm saying, like me being able to give her just the attitude, not the paperwork. The other people had to give her the paperwork because I wouldn't give it to her. So my growing wasn't there, but my understanding was there. So in all, if you don't understand who you are as a person, if you don't understand your potential as a human being, or somebody doesn't give you that understanding as well, you might be left on the side of the road, or you might hate something that you actually love. You might not understand enough to be able to get to where you want to be. And later on in life, I am understanding a lot. Things are coming together, but they're coming together late. They're coming together at a time that, yes, I need to know, but I wish that I knew it earlier. It's hard, but at the same time, I still appreciate it. I still appreciate it, and I'm able to give it to the next generation to see where my mistakes were. I'm able to give it to them to be able to see, so that they're able to understand, just in case they are put in the same position. So they're able to learn right then and there what needs to be done to expand themselves, to show themselves and the other people that believe in them. Because a lot of people believe in you and you don't even know it. A lot of people are on your side. A lot of people are cheering for you, but they don't know how to express it. And you need to know. Because that makes you stronger. That makes you feel better. It actually gives you, hopefully it doesn't make you cocky. It doesn't give you that narcissistic type of ego. But if you're willing to grow within what needs to be done and keep a humble attitude about the whole situation, just have that on your side when the hard times hit, then you will get an understanding of who you are, of what you need to do. But that's been the episode. I was going to get to the emails, but because of the technical difficulties, me talking so much, I wanted to actually get this episode out. I wanted to keep it going, and I'll just start it on the Saturday episode. I do thank everybody for coming in, listening into the show. Definitely going to get those emails out there. Please believe me, I definitely wanted to start today. I wanted to be able to get it out today, but because of our issues, I want to keep on track. I want to get the show out there. I want to keep it going. The best thing to do is to be as consistent as possible. Show your consistency. Be on top of it. And make sure that you are what you believe in being. Because if you're not, then how can people follow you? If you consider yourself as a leader. But thank you guys for listening in. You can definitely hit up the email address, mplsmikid@gmail.com. We definitely are listening to you. A lot more stuff coming soon. We're going to keep this ball rolling. We're going to be on top of things. We're going to make things happen. So with this show, I'd like to thank you all for listening in to knowing your potential, looking out for your potential as a show. And you guys have a good one.